following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man never thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be Jimmy Star's new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We have a really fun show for you guys today. We're going to have a lot of fun. Before we get started, lots of people in the chat room, but let's first say hi to our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey everybody, today's show is really going to be a lot of fun because Sherry Belafonte is a friend of mine for a long time, and I work better with my friends because we understand each other. And Derek is a wonderful actor. He's a British actor. He's been in everything, and when you hear the movies that he's been in and the stars that he knows, I think he's got me beat as far as the European market for stardom. Anyway, I would like to go right into a bitch because I feel like bitching today.
You don't want to say hi to everybody first?
Hi to everybody. Now I'm going to go into bitching. Okay, Jimmy, you happy? Homophobia is back and worse than it's ever been. I want to tell people one thing. Transsexuals are not homosexuals. Transsexuals are people who feel they were born in the wrong body and they adjust that. So those of you out there now who hate gay people and are about boycotting us because of what's going on with the transgender people in the schools and how they're trying to teach 3-year-old children that transgender is okay and that everybody should change their sex. None of that nonsense pertains to gay people. Gay people are an entirely different people. So when I write about gay things on my Facebook page, don't be afraid to comment. Don't be afraid that you're not politically correct, because now you're reading something from a homosexual. Oh my God. Woo. Okay. Just keep in mind, gay people are Rock Hudson, a few presidents we've had, very important VIP people in government, great movie stars, great athletes. We're all over the place. We're not to be discriminated against. We're not to be hated. We have a place on this planet, and we are here for a reason, to keep the population down. Not me. I had 2 kids, so I screwed that one up. But gay people were born and made to keep the population down, because if every lesbian and gay man had children, the population would be outrageous, because gay people are in not the millions and not the trillions. I think we're in the zillions throughout the world. So please, if you're a Facebook friend of mine, go on and read what I write. Nothing will offend you or upset you. I try to explain to you what I feel and how I feel and why I feel as I do. Read it, please. And then post a comment.
There you go. Also, we got a ton of people joining us in the chat room. So let's say hi to everybody. Angela, Joseph, hello, Angela.
Angie, baby.
Cindy Lady Lake Music. B. Claudia's in Germany. Teresa Sabin is in Florida. JB Julia, she's in Russia. I think I saw Backpack John there. I don't know, they're not writing quick enough, but hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We certainly had a nice weekend going to Malibu. We had a really good time. And
I wish I were there now. It's 116 in Palm Springs, hot as hell.
Oh, we want to say hi to Don Hinton too. Don's in Bakersfield.
Hey, Don.
And I don't know where Astro is, you guys. He was sitting here and then he jumped off. And I don't know where he went.
Astro takes a walk. He'll be back. we were busy because Jimmy's mic wasn't working. So we were busy trying to do that. And Astro is a very temperamental dog. And he was kissing and didn't get attention for a minute. So he got offended and said, okay, screw you. Play with the mic. I'm going away. But Astro will be back.
That's absolutely true. Astro is very much like that.
But the heat here really is intense. We're having a heat wave warning. And I'm going to warn all my fellow senior citizens, please do not go to the pool. Please do not go out because we can hit 120. They say 116 to 118, but that could go to 120. Last year we had 125. At 125 degrees, you don't stand a chance out there because when you grow old, you lose muscle and you become thin-skinned, and the heat can definitely boil your blood, cause you to pass out and pass away. We lost a friend who had been drinking heavily, and he fell asleep in his car in the driveway when the heat was up, and he passed away from it. That was Ron, the actor.
Yes, I know.
Remember when Ron passed away? What a sweet guy. Ron, yeah. He was on our show and a very sweet actor, but he passed away from the heat. So please, folks, beware of the heat. And if you do go out, wear a hat.
Absolutely. They like my new glasses.
And if you're gay, wear a hat with a bag and shoes to match.
You gotta love it. So also, somebody wrote something, and I was gonna make Hub Reynolds is in the chat room too.
Hub Reynolds is still looking for a woman, a bride, a lay, anything. If you're an attractive woman with a sexy body and you want to meet a hot guy, contact Hub. He's looking. He's really lonely. Lives in a nice house in Georgia, and he's looking for a woman to share it with. So give Hub a buzz and then thank me after your night of romance.
There you go.
Right, Hub? I hear you're a lady killer. I heard that a lot of women went, ouch, it hurts. Right, hubby, baby. Anyway, today's show is going to be fabulous.
He says thanks.
And thanks for the publicity. Sherry Belafonte, as I said before, is a friend of mine who I love. She's a very bright and funny lady. You have to know Sherry privately. Privately, she's outrageous. She's risque. She's just a wonderful human being to be around. A very positive thinking woman. And I can't wait for her to come on.
No, it'll be a lot of fun. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Let's do a little commercial real quick, you guys. We want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. You can hear us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, Amazon Prime, and SoundCloud. And
and also, I want to comment. Someone wrote in my Facebook, Ron, I watched your video of you as a cop in the movie Croker. And how did you learn to speak that way? Because you don't speak that way on your show. Well, my answer, dearest, is it's called acting. And you act. You become the part. You read the script. You analyze the character. You think about how you want to portray that character. And then you look in the mirror. And you do all the faces and the sound effects and all of the movements that that character would do. When you feel that character is believable, possibly the camera will find it believable. Therefore, the audience will find it believable. And thank you so much for the compliment that I was fantastic as that mean, stupid cop from Brooklyn who went to Pennsylvania just to push people around because he thought they were hicks.
And a fun story about that.
Yeah, but he got his in the end if you watch the movie.
A fun story about that, though, is that we were at like a 7-Eleven kind of place, and everybody was putting stuff up there, and Ron put all his stuff up there that he wanted to eat because we were all starving, and he was in his cop uniform from the movie.
With my gun?
With his gun and everything, and so I had to pay for my stuff, but they let him just take his stuff out.
So
he just got to walk out for free.
When we got outside, I said, Jimmy, food is so cheap here. I said, look, $6 for all of this food. And then we realized that the 7-Eleven did not charge me. I guess because they believe in the old standard. If you charge cops, they're not going to come if somebody's robbing you. So better to feed the cops and keep them happy so that they do come here when you hit the alarm. Well, we had a lot of fun with that. So I, of course, told the cast the story and they loved it. I said, now let's go to an Italian restaurant and see if it happens. but we didn't.
It might have happened though.
I know, but I wouldn't do that. It's not fair. It's cheating, and I don't do that stuff. I mean, what? Am I going to nickel and dime a restaurant? What are you, nuts, Jimmy? Oh, he is a little nuts. We're not happy today. We're fighting.
We're not fighting.
Well, we're fighting because, Jimmy spends his computer went. And we had to run to Best Buy, and he carries on for that crappy little stupid computer that I would have thrown in the garbage. Yet, for all the equipment for our show, he doesn't, really get upset about. His mic is not working. This is not working.
Yeah, we need a new one of those boards.
No, we need to get rid of all of it. And we have to redesign this and update it to what's today. This equipment that we're using, I was using when I started your show 11 years ago.
Well, we didn't have a board like that.
No, but still,
that board
Jimmy,
doesn't work because we spilled Coke on it.
I didn't spill Coke on it. You did. I don't drink Coca-Cola. That
Either
poison.
way, we spilled Coke on it, so that's why it doesn't work.
I do not drink Coca-Cola. God forbid. Can we go on with the show?
Yes.
I can't wait to see my Sherry baby.
Oh, she's our second guest.
Oh, okay. Derek is our first guest.
There you go. So
Derek is really a sweet guy. I've never met him, yet we're good friends for many, many years on Facebook. And I'm so impressed with Derek's work record. And when Jimmy tells you all of his goods, you're going to be very impressed also.
he's very cool, and I actually met him yesterday because we did a test.
Yeah, I've never spoken to him. We've only Facebooked for how many years, Derek? Quite a few years. But it'll be fun meeting him.
Oh, no, it's going to be a lot
Can
of
we
fun.
go and do it?
No, he's not here yet. Honey.
Oh, he's not here yet.
12:15. You're supposed to talk for 15 minutes.
Oh, well, I can talk for 4 hours, but I don't want to put our audiences to bed. Well, that's like what I said to Sherry. You know, we went to Sue Wong's wonderful luncheon on Sunday up in her Malibu home. And Sherry Belafonte jokingly, of course, said, oh, and Ron Russell will never stop talking. And I said, yes, but the ears that listen never stop listening, do they? So if you're an interesting person and you talk a lot, people enjoy it. But if you're a bore, 3 sentences and you want to put, you know, ice picks in your eye, as they say.
It's funny.
So you have to be interesting if you talk a lot. But if you talk a lot and you're boring, don't. Save people from that. Now, Sherry Belafonte should talk about talking a lot, right? Miss Big Mouth, she talks just as much as I do. But she's funny and she's bright and she's interesting. So I love being in her company.
And her husband was with her. And
Oh,
he's
Sam
very
is
cool. His name
terrific.
is Sam Behrens, and he
Mhm.
was in General Hospital.
Super
He
soap
played
opera
Jake
star.
in General Hospital. I think he was on Knots Landing, and he was in that movie Alive, about the plane crashes
they
up in
ate
the
each
mountains and they
other.
ate each other.
Mhm.
And then we also met Lee McCluskey there, who was on Dallas for many years,
Yeah.
and he was also on Knots Landing. And
I think we know every soap opera star there was. I mean, are there any left that we haven't met that are alive?
Chris, the rocker from Guns N' Roses, was
Right.
there.
He's a sweet guy, Guns N' Roses guy.
Oh, and Twyla just joined us. Hey, Twyla, how are you?
We had a lot of interesting people up at Sue's house. Marta and Ron were there,
Yeah, Marta and Ron Bloom.
who are wonderful. They
He's
flew,
actually the one who wrote the song "Into the Night" by Benny Bardones,
Right.
which is a big hit.
and they flew into California from Florida to go to Paul Sorvino's memorial, which Jimmy and I were going to go to, but Jimmy had his surgery, so we were unable to go. Paul Sorvino had just said yes to being the boss in my movie, The Curse of Magic. And I was so excited to get Paul to play the mafia boss. And then we heard that he passed away.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So now we're looking to replace that part. I was thinking of Christopher Walken. I know Christopher Walken. I used to ride the BMT subway with him when we were like 18 years old, because we both came from the same town and we rode the same subway line, the BMT into Astoria, Queens. And he lived in Astoria, Queens, as well as I did. Are you there, Jim? Are you in a
Yes, I'm
coma
looking
or
for
what?
our first guest, so I can see
okay.
if.
He wasn't feeling well because he said he had a cold. And I hope that he's not going to not appear.
Now he'll be here. I talked to him yesterday.
Well, if not, he's going to get a wicked email from me. Of course, you know, if you don't make our show for any reason other than death, we never invite you back. Simply because, and I'm not being a show off, we have so many requests from people to be on our show. You have no idea. We could do 20 shows a week and still have people wanting to come on our show. So if you do come on our show, it's kind of a privilege because it's a hard show to get on.
We
And
only have 8 spots a month.
yeah, I mean, like Sherry Belafonte, 7 years, 8 years, I know her. She's never been on the show. Well, because we keep forgetting, but not forgetting her, but just forgetting, that she would do the show. And now finally, after all these years, she's doing our show. So we really jumped the line. We had other people that would have been doing it today, but we pushed Sherry to the head of the line.
She's fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so Julia, my knee is doing okay. I had the staples taken out yesterday. I'm still, walking with assistance, but I'm doing much better. Every day gets a little teeny bit better. And so hopefully, another couple weeks we'll be in great shape.
And
thank you for asking.
And yes, I only drink lemonade, as I have written. And as I tell you now, I do not drink alcohol. Alcohol is loaded with sugar, and sugar's not good for you. Also, I don't like to be out of control. I like to be in control. I could never be. I mean, years ago when I was a kid, we used to drink, and I would get dizzy and throw up. My feet would go over my head in bed at night. I'd say, I'm never going to do this again, as I was vomiting. So I never drank really well, and I don't drink. This is lemonade in my cup, folks.
Yes, absolutely.
And Jimmy doesn't drink, and Jimmy doesn't smoke. So it's a pleasure being with somebody who doesn't do the things that you don't do. If Jimmy smoked and drank, I don't think we'd be together still, because who wants to kiss an ashtray mouth, and who wants to sit there listening to some babbling drunk go on and on nonsense conversation? Not me.
Absolutely. I agree.
Right. That's why you love and adore and worship me, right? Because I don't smoke and I don't drink.
Yes.
And I'm telling them now, repeat after me, Jimmy. You're the handsomest man in the world.
You're the handsomest man in the world.
See, that's why we get along. I mean, what is he going to do? He has no choice.
That's freaking hilarious. Okay, so I think what we'll do, maybe we'll take a music break real quick.
Okay, Derek, where are you?
He's
He's in London, so maybe we're having some trouble going to London.
We shouldn't be, but let's do this. So, Juan, our fabulous engineer. Let's play Stefano Over You. It's his brand new single. You guys, I think, will enjoy it, and I'll try and message
everybody
Derek.
has gone nuts over Stefano. I want you to know that. I've got so many comments and messages about Stefano.
Yeah, it's absolutely very cool. So everybody check it out. This is Stefano. The name of the song is Over You. Enjoy, and hopefully we'll be back with Derek in 1 minute.
To live like you. One touch got me walking the moon. 'Cause you're heavenly. You are like a dream. In my mind, still only my perfect fantasy. I can't ignore it. I live for it. I can't look away. Girl, you're on me. Now I can't get over you. Every time I try, I come right back to you. Keep lying to myself, but we both know the truth. I'm addicted and I ain't got nothing left to lose. Can't get over you. Oh baby, I overdose. Kiss from a rose, I feel it in my bones. Sit on your throne. Moments live inside my soul, and I know you got that poison for me. I need a hit again, my medicine. Let your love on me take over. 'Cause I can't get over you. Every time I try, I come right back to you. Keep lying to myself, but we both know the truth. I'm addicted and I ain't got nothing left to lose. Can't get over you. Can't ignore it. I live for it.
What happened?
Yay,
Here
that
we
was the
are.
brand new single Over You by Stefano. He was so nice. Last week he actually invited us. He was playing at a really high-end nightclub, and he invited us, but we couldn't go because I couldn't walk yet.
Well, let me tell you what's nice about being friends with Stefano. Besides being friends with him, which is a treat, and his wife, of course, is a dreamboat. They're both a lovely couple. When we are invited to his concerts, we get VIP. VIP means the best seating, and we don't pay. So what's better than that? So it's nice to have friends in high places, I always say.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you know, Mr. Blackwell, who was the worst 10 dress list guy for years and years, was a buddy of mine. I mean, we were like brothers. And he used to advise me and say, Ron, your media, you're a reporter, your press, never go anywhere
Yes.
and pay. Because you have to realize that they're going to get free publicity, free PR, and free press from you. The least they could do is host you. And I keep that to mind always. I never go anywhere that Jimmy and I would have to pay for a ticket, even if it's $3 ticket, $2 ticket. I won't do it because having Jimmy and I there at your affair or function is publicity. And I hate to tell you what publicity costs. A lot of money. Just ask some of Jimmy's clients what they have to pay. Well, it's a lot of money because it's a lot of work to get your name out there, keep it out there, get you on the shows, get you in the magazines, get you in the press. You know, publicity made Jane Mansfield, who was nobody really, and Zsa Zsa Gabor, who was less than Jane Mansfield, famous. So I forgot what I'm talking about.
Publicity.
Publicity. Woo, woo, woo. Anyway, where is Derek?
I don't know.
Derek, if you stand me up, I promise I will fly to London and grab you by your wang and swing
did
you
a
around the
test.
room and let you loosen through a window.
We did a test yesterday, and he made a post on Facebook an hour ago, so I don't know where he is, but I sent him
Derek,
messages. I'm
Where-
sending a message, but we have to talk about something else while we're working on it. So what would you like to talk about? We saw a couple good
well, let's
movies.
talk about me. I'm the most interesting thing to talk about. Let's talk about how handsome I am, how tall and thin I am, and how young I am. And let's talk about what a liar I am.
Yeah, right.
Right. Anyway, I got to talk about a Sherry Belafonte story. Sherry Belafonte and I were at a friend, I think it was one of her relatives' beautiful mansion here in Palm Springs at a very fabulous party. And Sherry and I were laying on the sofa together, just kind of hugging and talking. And I said, you know, Sherry, I love you. And she said, why do you love me? I said, what do you mean, why do I love you? Oh, I should not love you. I should not like you. I said, I love you because of all the things you are. She said, yeah, but you really don't know me. This is years ago. You really don't know me. I said, listen, I don't give bullshit love like everybody else. I love you to the moon and back. That one I throw up from. When people say to me, oh, Ron, I love you to the moon and back, I say, get original. Say you love me to Venus and back or Mars and back, but not the moon. I'm tired of all this lovey crap that Hollywood does. I love you. I adore you. I worship you. And then you don't put them in a movie and they say, oh, that son of a bitch. You know, it's all where'd you go, Jimmy? Pee-pee?
I'm going to try and call him.
Oh, you're going to call Derek? I thought he had to go pee-pee. Anyway, you know, phony baloney stinks. If you can't be honest, be nothing. But don't be a phony. All this, darling, how are you? You look fabulous. Meanwhile, you're 500 pounds with warts and pus coming out of your pimples on your face, and you're bald and you have no teeth. And they say, darling, you're gorgeous. You're fabulous. And you're full of shit. That's what I say to them, to myself. Just say, hey, Ron, how you doing? Feeling good? Looking healthy? That's a compliment. Jimmy went to call Derek. We don't know what happened with Derek, but we've been having this lately with some of our guests, and we really don't like it. But what can you do, folks? You're stuck with me. Let's talk about something. What could we talk about? Let's talk. I don't want to do politics. I don't do religion. I don't do. What am I going to talk about? Bologna, macaroni. Let's talk about my neighbors. We met two nice fellas in our pool, and he's coming on our show, and his name is Ryan. And Ryan has written over 150 love books, but gay love books. So I don't ask him questions at the pool because I like to keep my interviews fresh. So I have hang on. So I have no idea what Ryan writes, how it happened, or whatever. But when he comes on our show, we will find out what made him start writing these books and how he became so famous. And he's written over 150. And he said to me, straight women buy them more than gay men. So we have to find all of that out.
All right.
His name is Ryan Field. Look up his books, purchase them and read them, and then come in our chat room and let me know what you think of his books.
There you go. All right. Now we're going to bring on our first guest, you guys, Derek Lyons. He's here now. And let's rock and roll and bring him in. He was on the wrong link. He was on our test link that we did yesterday.
Oh, you son of a
Hey!
bitch. Look at him, the son of a bitch.
Hi guys, how are you? I can't hear you very well.
Well, you're going to hear me now. You gave me a friggin' heart attack. I thought you weren't coming on.
No, I was on the wrong link. Sorry about that. Can you turn the mic up a bit? I don't.
I think it's on. Hang on. Let's
Yeah,
see. He's trying. Can you hear
It's
us now?
very faint at my end.
Is your volume on your computer up or on your phone? Is your volume up all the way?
Yeah, on my phone, I can go to I don't know, settings. I don't know what you should do.
Just hit the
I've only
volume
been on
button.
Zoom before, not this one.
Just hit the volume button on on your phone and make sure your volume is up all the way.
Yeah, I've done that one. I've done that volume. Unless I go, let me go into settings. Hang on.
Okay.
Let me look here. Media output. Hang on.
English. Oh yes, he's
Media.
English. Everybody, you
So-
guys.
he's
in the
almo-
UK.
He's almost
No, it's not right. No, just dog. I'm on.
He speaks almost Cockney.
Yeah,
He's
let me look at
really-
this. Look at the volume
heavy
settings. Hang on.
good.
Let me go to. I know. Let
We're
me
getting
go
lessons,
to.
folks. Lessons in computers. And
Sorry about this. Let me just go here. Let me go
Good evening, Dick.
to my settings on my phone. Hang on.
Somebody in the chat room says they know it. Somebody in
sounds, vibrations, sound.
volume.
Is that better? No.
Well, let me speak. Is that
Mute.
better?
Let me see.
You want us to shout? We'll shout.
Sorry. It says
I'm from-
sound vibration. No.
Oh, fuck it.
Hang on,
Just
sound
go
quality.
on. Derek, forget
it's
it.
ridiculous.
Forget it. Forget it.
Sound effects.
We'll talk loud.
We'll
talk
just,
loud.
I'm from Brooklyn. We
I
speak
can put
loud.
some headphones in if you want me to. That may make
Oh
it
yeah,
easier.
put headphones
Yeah,
in. Yeah, put headphones on.
Put,
Yes.
put a
Let me
mic
see.
up
No, I've
your
only got the thing. Hang on a second.
put a mic up your ass. I don't
Hang on.
care what you do, but get the show on the road. Derek.
Derek's a legend. Somebody named Dean Franken DeSamier is in the chat.
What
room.
what a way to meet Derek. You sure you're not going deaf, you old goat?
Anyway, you guys.
Now we have dead air. I love it. Only on
Okay, I'm here.
live TV can this crap happen.
Oh.
There, you're back.
Shows
Now
you
you
I'm so
hear us.
professional.
Do you
Right.
hear us?
Let's plug this in.
He's putting it in now. He's putting them in now. There we go. Yay! Can you hear us now? Oh, he's
Hang on.
going to put him in his ear. He's going to put him in his ear.
Flush.
All right.
Sorry.
We're gonna
almost
kill.
there.
You know what? You've invited me
Let's
to
sort it
see
out.
you when I come to London, and when I do, I'm gonna punch you right in the face. I'm gonna punch you right in the mouth when I see you. What is he doing?
I don't
Tap
know.
dancing?
He's putting the headphones in and he's
Right,
putting them
I'm
on his
really
head.
organised usually. Okay.
How long does it take to plug in a
One
headphone?
second. Here we go.
Now, can
Can
you
you hear
hear
us?
Yeah,
can you-
sorry. Hallelujah.
Well, I want you to hear this. Fuck
Yeah.
you. That you're making our show look like
So
crap.
actually, Derek, can you turn your phone sideways? Can you turn it sideways or no? It'll take up more of the screen.
Let me see. Yeah, I could
Yes.
do that.
Yeah, that's much better.
There,
Let
now
me-
you look,
There you go.
Let
Now
me.
you-
Let me.
you look handsome now.
All right. Now
The
we're
angle's
ready.
the angle's really strange. Okay.
That's okay.
Look,
You're
look,
okay.
look up, look, Ron, look up there. Look at that.
That's Jane Russell, my
Yeah,
buddy,
see-
my good buddy,
And next to
All right.
Mitchum.
and Bobby Mitchum, her best friend.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the super talented. I guess he does a little bit of everything, but mostly I know him as an actor. So we'll say actor, entertainer, Derek Lyons. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hi guys, thank you very much for inviting me, Jimmy. I love you dearly, and my dear, lovely friend Ron Russell. I love you.
Yes,
too.
and you're a big shot in England.
Actually, there's people in the chat room.
Could
Say
be.
hi to everybody in the chat room. Say hi to
Hi
everybody in the chat.
guys, hi guys. Peace and love, Hare Krishna.
Somebody,
Now listen, I don't know much about you. I just know what I get on Facebook, and I know that
Yeah.
you know so many celebrities, all the people you've taken. I mean, Harrison Ford. I see you in Star Wars and all these great
Yeah.
movie stars. So you want to run through a couple of? We like name dropping. So do our people.
Okay, okay. I've met Sir Laurence Olivier, Andy Hopkins, Jack Nicholson, Kim, what's her name? Kim, Lorraine Hutton, Betty Davis, Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson. I spent some time with Rock Hudson. Who else is there?
Robert Mitchum, Julie
Robert
Andrews,
Mitchum. Robert Mitchum. Yeah, I've got a picture here of Robert and me. I'll just show you. Look.
Jonathan
me.
Rhys Davies.
Yeah, John Rhys Davies. There's me and Robert. Look.
Oh, look how young you are.
You look like
I
Donald.
know.
You look like Donald Trump when he was young.
Oh, don't say that. Someone else has said that. You terrible.
No, Donald Trump was good looking
when he was young.
when
We're
he
gonna
was young.
we're gonna build
Actually-
a wall.
There's a guy in the chat room, Dave Hughes. He's from the UK, and he says that, "Good evening, Derek. I know a good mate of yours, Graham Cole. Do you know somebody named Graham Cole?"
Yeah, Graham. I worked with Graham on a TV show called The Bill. It was a cop show for 5 years. I played PC Craig Lovell, and Graham Cole played Stamp. He's
there
actually
you
the
go.
most famous of the lot. Yeah.
And then there's somebody in there named Dean, Frank, and Sammy, and they say Derek's a legend. So your fan base is following.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know what? It's funny. Spencer Wilding, who's a new Darth Vader, and also he does lots of monsters and Doctor Who, etc. Years ago he said to me, "You know, Derek, you're a fucking legend. You are. You're a fucking legend." So excuse my swearing, but
You can swear. You can swear.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway,
Did he fuck you? How did he know you were a legend?
you dirty bastard. Yeah. I've been around the blocks, baby. Ding dong.
But I knew Rock Hudson and Betty Davis really well, and Elizabeth Taylor well. What did you think of Betty, Elizabeth, and Rock?
Well, Elizabeth Taylor works on a movie called with Pierce Brosnan, the Bond guy, on a film called Mirror Crack, directed by Guy Hamilton at Twickenham Studios in 1980. And I hung out with Kim Novak's makeup artist, who was also her husband was her plastic surgeon too. And so one day I was sitting in the having breakfast with her, this German lady, and I said, "Who else is in this movie? It's my first day, And I was cast as one of the Queen's guards. Hello, and so ding dong. And so what happened was she said, "Oh, that Elizabeth Taylor, there she is now." And I'll be honest with you, I mean, she's a beautiful looking woman. When I saw this woman, she had no makeup on, her hair was over disheveled. I thought it was the cleaning lady. I didn't realize it was. I couldn't believe it. Absolutely. So anyway, a few days later, I went up to her. I said, "Miss Taylor," I said, "I'm a massive fan of yours, and may I have the autograph?" And I don't normally do that on films. And she looked at me up and down. She went, "Okay." And that's all she said. But yeah, and also Rock Hudson. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I loved him, and I spoke to Doris Day a few years ago through her, emailed her because that was her best friend, and she sent me a lovely photograph signed to my biggest and best fan because I mentioned Rock, and anyway, Rock Hudson, I was dressed in this. I had this black like Mary Quant wig. I was dressed in the period, and it was obviously Mirror Crack was a. They were filming in a film, and Rock Hudson was a director. And Sam Kidd does a scene where the assistant director comes up to me, and then Rock Hudson then walks along the line, and I can see me quite clearly. I have to do reaction with Rock, and he goes, "So these are the Queen's Guards. They look more like ballerinas."
That voice of it is that baritone.
Yeah, great voice. And he anyway, but after that, he kept coming up to me, and rather looking in my eyes. Because I had these green tights on, which showed my meat and two veg quite distinctly,
Meat and two veg.
So anyway, he came up when he looked at me, he went, hello, my young friend, and how are you today?" Look at my groin. Well, I end up going in, having a coffee in his room, invite me to his room, and he would lay, because he couldn't remember script very well, and he was
Not
on
at
the,
all.
no, he was on the laying on the floor. I'm not sure he's doing. He was laying down on the carpet. I said, "Rock, can I come in?" I'll come in. So I sat down on the carpet with him, just had a few chats about. I can't remember what we talked about. To be honest with you, lovely guy. And funny enough, when Rock sadly died of HIV, I went to the very first what's it called, fundraising event in celebrating in honor of Rock Hudson. That we did that in the UK when it was very, very kept. Very, people didn't want to go around people with HIV or AIDS, as we
Right.
call it. And I had lots of friends. Sadly, about 3 or 4 friends who sadly died. Now Rock was lovely, there's one. I can tell you a funny story.
Betty Davis, who I really knew well, so let's
Yeah.
get that one out.
All right, Betty Davis. I worked on
A tough old broad.
No, she's lovely. She, at the time I worked with her, it was a film called. I was meant to be a student actor on a film. I think it was I think it could have been Agatha Christie. I'm sure. I think is it Murder with Mirrors, something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, so Betty Davis, she's sitting right beside me, and she's in a wheelchair, sadly. And one of the other supporting artists, I never use the word extra. So one of the supporting artists went up to her with this beautiful Betty Davis book, and she signed it for him. I looked at her, I smiled at her. I said, "Miss Davis, would you like a cup of tea?" She looked at me and said, "Yes, okay." She's quite abrupt. And I got a cup of tea for her, and I sat down with her. But I was so in awe of her because I loved her, All About Eve and all those Hollywood things. I'm a big...
If you ever called Betty Davis up, she never said goodbye. You would be
Oh,
in the
really?
middle of, you would be saying, "Okay, Betty, then I will," click, click. She just hung up on you.
Really?
She just hung up the phone. She never ever said, "Well, Ron, goodbye." Just click.
Hang on,
And the other one that did that was Jane Russell.
Also.
Did that at times also, and another star that I knew never said goodbye. They just did
Yep.
click.
So hang on, I got to do a little bragging a little bit just to tell people because they're asking what have you been in. So
He's been in
here we go.
everything.
So you guys, here's some of the stuff that
Well-
he's worked on.
Well, let Jimmy do it, Derek.
All right,
Yeah,
so you
sure.
guys, he was in Star Wars: A New Hope in 1976, Flash Gordon, Krull, The Living Daylights, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Loch Ness, A Kiss Before Dying, GoldenEye, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Superman 4, Superman 2, Octopussy, Life Force, A View to a Kill, Supergirl, Yentl, The Lords of Discipline, Victor Victoria as a dancer, and the original Star Wars. And there's a lot more of them. I just picked out the ones everybody knows.
Yeah. There's a picture here. Me sat with Sam Jones a couple of years ago. Plays Flash Gordon, and there's me arm wrestling him. Look.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love Sam Jones.
We may be working
lovely
with
guy.
him.
He's a lovely guy. Well, when you speak to him, say you met Derek, who gave you the
Sure
arm
will.
wrestle.
Yeah. No, he may be in one of Jimmy's movies. We're talking about it. I love Flash Gordon. I would love to play Flash Gordon at 82 years old.
That'd be great.
Well, I don't think it would be attractive, but it would be maybe a good comedy. You know,
I actually bought, so I collect action figures, and I actually bought him a Flash Gordon doll, but not
Emperor
not
Ming,
Sam Jones.
Ming the Merciful. Ming.
I got, he has a Flash.
I was a Mongo man. I was
There
actually
you
three. I
are.
was an Aquarian, Mongo man, and Alborian. And I can tell you some really good, funny stories on that about Richard O'Brien and Ornella Muti and a few others. Quite interesting stories. If you want any stories on that.
Ron loves Flash
any
Gordon.
gossip, any dirt, we're all ears.
Well, actually, Richard O'Brien, who actually wrote the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I love, he used to invite me into his room upstairs, and he quite liked me as this kind of voice. I'm Richard O'Brien. He played what's he called? What's the character he played in Rocky Horror? Oh, I can't remember now. Anyway, so he said, "Derek, would you like to come in and just smoke a joint with me?" So I did. So I totally stoned Richard O'Brien. Fabulous. But I got on very well with Ornella Muti, the Italian actress, and I used to go to her room because I speak Portuguese, so I understood her makeup artist who was Italian, so I kind of conversed with him to talk things out for Ornella. Well, I was almost like an assistant to Ornella Muti to a degree. No funny stuff, though. She was very sweet. John Osborne, the playwright, I ended up drinking in his little Willy Bago. I said to the first assistant, Michael Stevenson, I said, "Look, John Osborne has invited me into his dressing room to have a drink." He said, "That's okay, Derry. That's all right." but I didn't realize at the time, you know, when I was young, I was like a good chicken, as you know, in the business. And and the thing is, I was approached by all the casting people, you know. I mean, you know, I won't go into the whole history, but you know, it depends. So so I'm sitting with John Osborne, and he had like 10 bottles of red wine. So I finished about 2 bottles of wine with him, and I went back and totally pissed. And yeah, great. I mean, he was a great, and he was apparently a bisexual, homosexual.
Totally pissed means shit faced.
Means
Yeah,
drunk,
shit face.
Yeah,
Yeah. Inebriated.
Inebriated. Okay.
loaded.
But yeah, loaded. I mean, Robert Mitchum. I'll get back to Robert, if I may. Robert Mitchum. I was working on a thing called Reunion at Fairborough with Deborah Carr and Kerr, you could say as well. And I remember he was he loved the supporting artist, you know, because I've always been an actor. I trained as an actor. I did supporting artists in little bits and pieces, you know, and I did very well at some point, but I never wanted to be famous, really, to be honest with you. Like Johnny Depp, you know, photographs taken, you walk up the street,
Right.
out the house. I hate that stuff. So Rob Mitchum, he came up to me. I was like playing this young guy, and I was meant to be one of the grandsons of something. And he came up to me, he said, and to me and 2 other people, he says, "Hey, you ever tell a story about my friend in Vietnam? He had a dick like a donkey."
That's Robert Mitchum. He and Jane Russell used to drink a lot, and believe it or not, Jane Russell drank him under the table.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
she used to brag about that all the time. She used to say to me, I drank Bobby under the table." Robert Mitchum.
Well, I see Robert Mitchum. I was so in awe. I've met lots of well-known people, but Robert Mitchum. When I had that photograph I showed you earlier, I don't know, me and Robert. That one, obviously, here, and a guy called Roy Beck, who was his stand-in, took it, and I went up to Robert, and he put his glasses on by this time, and I thought, God, can I ask him to take his glasses off, you know? And I thought, because he could, you know, he kind of liked me, because at the time I think I looked a bit like, on reflection, I looked a bit like Christopher Mitchum when I was younger as well. I've morphed into different people, and I think he kind of liked, because I had a similar face to one of his sons. And anyway, so he came. I said, "Could I have a photograph taken with you?" And he said, "Well, sure." But I was so nervous of asking him. I feel like I'm Woody Allen now. I'm getting erratic now. I couldn't really. I couldn't have the guts to actually ask him to take the glasses off. You know, he was my hero. I mean, him and Steve McQueen are my heroes.
Did you ever meet Steve McQueen?
No, but I worked with a guy called Angus Lenny, who played the mole in The Great Escape. Angus was a gay man, a dancer who did lots of variety here. He always played one of the ugly sisters in, I think we call it in England called pantomime. And he says to me, "Oh, Daddy, you know, we had like extra time on the film in Germany because and Steve loved me because he knew I was gay, and so I'd go on the back of his bike and he'd give me rides all over through the forest and all that stuff because I wasn't a threat to him, you know." But yeah, and I met I met Ali McCraw a few years ago and spoke to her about Steve, and a friend of mine called Marshall Terrell. He writes lots of books, biographies on McQueen and other such people. And he did a book with Barbara Minty, which was McQueen's last wife. So I've had all these interconnections, you know. I worked with Gordon Jackson and Richard Attenborough, who worked on The Great Escape, you know. So I've always had some kind of connection, you know, 3 degrees of separation.
Yes. 6 degrees of separation.
Absolutely.
Oh, 6 degrees, yeah. I thought it's 3. No, mine is 3, not 6. Sorry.
That happens here in Hollywood also. If you're well connected in Hollywood, you could work because friends get you in and friends tell other friends to do it. So
Yeah.
it's a family.
Well, I'll tell you a quick story. There's a guy, a director called Peter Hunt, who directed On Majesty's Secret Service, and he was the he was the editor for the first Doctor No film right the way through to, and he said, "I'm leaving Eon if you don't give me a film." So he got On Majesty's Secret Service, obviously with George Lazenby, the Australian actor. And anyway, when I was working on a film called Last Days of Pompeii, I was standing in on it, and for almost 9 weeks at Pinewood Studios. And Peter Hunt, you know, he was a gay guy. He was very sweet, and he used to give me lifts home every night and stuff. And one day I was looking through the lens, you know, and he said to me, he says, "No, Derek, you know, you remind me of." I said, who? You look like a young, what's his name? German actor, Australian actor. Not Klaus Forman. It came to Oscar Werner. You look like a young Oscar Werner.
Do you know who that is?
Oscar,
No, I have no idea who that is.
yeah, Oscar Werner. He was in a film called The Dam, but he's also in a film. What is it called now? Fahrenheit 429. He's quite known. I mean, you type Oscar Werner with OSK. Yeah. But anyway, he was great. So it was quite a couple.
Oh.
But anyway, Peter invited me. He said I was living with a girl at the time, and he sent me a one-way ticket to go to Hollywood in '84 because he lived in Bel Air. He said, Derek, no funny stuff. You can come and live with me and Nicholas, my partner, and I will get your teeth done, and I will, Hollywood smile. I will get you trained up, and I will help your career. But guess what? Stupid guy didn't do it.
Okay. Now, you were more than an extra. You were a featured player.
Yes, I was. Obviously, the way I've been when I did the BFI, the British Film Institute premiere for Elstree 1976's movie, which I did. I've got him in 2 documentaries. This one here, Elstree 1976. Right, I'm in that documentary with about 10 other actors. And the thing is that I said on stage at the premiere, at the premiere, I said, look, if I were an extra, I'd be a dot in the landscape on Ben-Hur. But if I'm doing a scene with Harrison Ford, whether I'm going yes sir or yep or react,
That's a featured player.
it's a featured player. But in this country, sadly, because we have this stupid class system, where I come from a working class family. My grandfather was a Jewish tailor, and that's another story. In a minute, I'll tell you about it in a minute. With North.
Wait a minute. So they were just considering you only an extra?
Yeah, they didn't want to see the central casting. And the union, it was created by the British Film Producers Association to get actors on the cheap. Roger Moore, Sean Connery, you name it, they all started at central casting, or where I started. And then obviously obviously Roger Moore had Dorothy Squires, the rich American singer, and she helped his career. And then that's how it happens. It's all to do with connections, but I never really pushed myself enough. And
Well, wait, let me explain to our audience.
yeah, sure.
Here in the United States, a featured player is a person who doesn't really have a character in the movie, but they're in the film and they have dialogue with someone, either the star or another person, and they are called a featured player. An
That's right.
extra is someone, like Derek said, that's way in the background. You can barely see them if you're lucky. They're called atmosphere.
Atmosphere,
Here in
yeah.
our country, but Derek is a featured. Derek is a featured player.
Thank you so much.
You were on a soap opera too.
No, but it's what you are, Blanche. It's what you are, Blanche.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, when I was on a TV show called The Bill, which is a kind of soap opera, I started as a walk-on 3. Now, when you remember of Equity, Nigel Hall, the British actor,
yes,
he signed my when I joined Equity. He was one of the people, and my late friend who died of HIV. Paul Alva, they actually sponsored me when I joined Equity in about '83, and so when I started doing lots of TV, I featured stuff on French and Saunders and all these different comedy shows, and then I did EastEnders, which is soap opera, and then when I got the bill, I thought this is the time I'm going to not do any more film work. I'm going to really focus on being an actor and getting a part in this, and use it as a jumping ball to something better, and sadly, circumstances happened where I lost the recession hit in this country in 1991, and then I lost my flat, and then I had to leave the business for a while until I went back and did Loch Ness in '95.
Wait, you were in EastEnders though?
Yeah, I did a few characters. I was actually a yuppie. Now, yuppie is like it's an English thing we used to call like a posh guy, lots of money.
Yes,
which
that's
works
what
in
it
the
is here
city.
too.
Yeah.
Same thing
So
here.
Same thing here.
Yeah, I was a yuppie in the wine bar called the Dagmar with Wilma Brown, and I was in the last episode with Angie, Anita Dobson, who plays Angie.
That's a really big show, though, right? In England, that's
Yeah,
considered to be like a big
yeah.
show.
It was better when I started in '84. It was really good. And I was just going back as a regular supporting artist on it. and I was featured. One day I was a kind of clone, gay clone with moustaches and gay clone. Then I was a TV repairman, and then I was quite a bit of dialogue here and there. It was quite good. Yeah, it was quite fun. Mhm.
You see, I get a lot of movie work. You know why?
Yeah,
I
fabulous.
sleep.
Well,
I sleep with the producer.
well, that's what I should do.
Jimmy's my producer. No, seriously, I have to clarify that I am in other people's films as well. But
Yeah, I saw one of your. I saw that one when you played the detective. You played a policeman, and you booked.
The nasty cop from Brooklyn that
that
talked
one. That
like
was
this.
good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that
over
one,
there.
yeah.
I'm telling you what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I'm talking really like a New York Brooklyn jerk. But I love playing that part because I had freedom.
Yeah.
The director said, "Ron, do it." And I said, "Is it overacting?" He said, "Not at all." He said, "It's totally what we think. We Pennsylvanians think of Brooklyn people." So they all said that it was very authentic. Well, it was because I'm from Brooklyn, and
Oh, wow.
I spoke like everybody I grew up with, and
Yeah.
people do speak like that.
Yeah, well, I met a guy years ago who was from a place called Yonkers.
That's even worse. The Bronx.
And they really have they really, I can't do it. They go, the white, the white side, the white shack, white, that. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Are you looking at me? Are you fucking looking at me? Don't you look at me, I'll fucking kiss you.
No, the
De Niro.
Bronx people, Bronx people make fun of Brooklyn people.
Oh, right.
They
Yeah.
say,
Cool,
"Oh, all the Brooklyn,
Sorry.
the Italian Brooklyn people, they don't know how to speak English."
Yeah,
Well, the people up in the Bronx, when we hear them, it's a joke. Also, New Jersey people, we say Jersey. Where you from? I'm from Jersey.
Jersey.
Jersey. So we all have accents, but I go to England a lot. My friend James Jessup lives in Lancaster. Lancaster. They speak one sort of English. Then if I go to London, I hear another sort of English.
You hear
Then I hear Cockney in certain places. Then I hear "Oh, how are you, darling?" That phony shit English.
Yeah,
So-
you have what you have is you have the Cockney accent. My sister, she's very much like, "What, mate? What? Yeah, what? Yeah, what?
Right. Right.
What?"
Like my honey bunch, Jason Stateman.
Oh, Jason.
Did you ever work
That's
with
his
Jason?
favorite.
Did you
No,
ever
his
work with?
favorite.
Oh yeah, he's got a great body. He's very fit.
Oh,
Used to be Go on.
if I ever work with Jason Stateman, it's going to hit the press. Jason Stateman was attacked by an actor.
He was a
would
very
be
good diver, wasn't he? He studied. He was a
I
Olympic
wish he'd
diver.
dive. I wish he would dive on me.
Ding dong. Here we go.
That Jason Stateman has got it all, boy. Let me tell you.
That's his favorite.
No, but a lot of English actors are terrific. We've had such wonderful. I mean, we love Maggie Smith over here like crazy, and my new love, who you're going to agree with me, and I'm only dying to be in a movie with her.
Yes.
is,
Michelle Dockery.
Michelle Dockery.
Michelle Dockery. I'm not sure who she is, dear boy. I'm
Winston
just thinking,
Churchill.
Downton Abbey.
I don't know. It's almost like Terry Thomas. Ding dong.
No, she was in
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey. She played
Oh, right.
Lady Mary.
She played Lady Mary.
Oh,
she's
right. Yeah, I think I know.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
She's a brilliant actor.
I
mean-
worked with Elizabeth Montgomery McGovern.
Yeah, she's a sweetie.
I worked with her on a film called Ragtime. I had a little bit in that one with the actor called Robert Joy.
No.
Oh, okay. Robert Joy appeared in a film called Atlantic City with Burt Lancaster. Burt Lancaster. My oh my. Me and Tony Curtis had a good time.
Tony, I love. Tony.
Yeah, I
was
love
my
Tony,
good-
yeah.
he was my friend.
Yeah.
Tony was a buddy. Yeah, miss him a
Well,
lot.
When I met Tony, I was invited to his art exhibition in Hampstead. Yes, where obviously Elizabeth Taylor used to live, and that's where I'm from. I'm from that area. And I went past this gallery one day, the Gatto Gallery, and I said, "Oh, yes, Tony Curtis." Okay, and she would like to come along. I said, "Well, because I did work. I actually have my father's girlfriend knew Cary Grant and Tony Curtis pretty well, and that maybe I have to tell that story another time. But anyway, so she said, "Come along to the opening." So I went to the opening, And I was married then. I was married for 18 years, sadly. And I went I went up to Tony Curtis, you know, and I got this book signed, and other such thing. And I had some really good picture of him. He was blind as a bat, you know. And I went up to him, and my wife's next to me. And my wife did look a bit like a drag artist, I must admit. But not as pretty as you, Ron. And I went up to Tony. I said, Tony, I said, could you put to Derek and Carol? So he looks at me and looks at Carol. He says, which one's Carol?
No, that's just Tony's humor.
Yeah, it's funny.
Because I spent 3 days with Tony Curtis, shoulder to shoulder, at the convention center in Palm Springs.
Wow.
So we really got to know each other 8 hours a day. You know, we had nothing to do with
I loved him. Yeah.
bullshit in between signings. And Tony Curtis, I said to him, are you gay? He said, no, I'm not gay. I just have sex with everybody. He was very open and funny. But that's a Tony Curtis joke. I said to him when I first met him, you know, people tell me that we look alike. He said, no, we don't. He said, I'm much better.
No, you do.
He said he was much better looking. So that was Tony's joke. And then somebody stopped at his booth and asked me if I was his son. And Tony said, no. Tony said, no, he's my daughter. So, you know, Tony had those one-liners. And Jane Russell was signing. That's why I was there. And he didn't stop busting Jane Russell's chops the whole time.
Really.
Oh, he didn't leave her alone about her brassiere and her this and that. Tony Curtis was, as you know, would be a funny fellow.
Well, I heard a story. You know the TV show The Persuaders?
Yeah, sure.
With Roger Moore and Tony Curtis. Apparently, they did have a liaison.
Could be.
I think so. I think it's true. And people won't like that for me, or the Bond people, but I think it's true.
Hollywood is so bisexual.
It happens, yeah.
Really...
Like, look at Cary Grant. He used to wear silk knickers.
Not only that, but my friend Mr. Blackwell, the 10 worst dress list, had a 3-way with Randolph Scott and Cary Grant.
Ding dong, that would have been fun.
When Blackwell was young, he was gorgeous. He was very
really?
And I understand very endowed. So he made it with Cesar Romero and Tyrone Power as well.
Yeah, right. You see, so because people didn't realize and also Raymond Burr. Did you see?
Yeah,
did you see?
He's good. He's good.
Yeah, I know. But did you see A Star Is Born with Judy Garland, which you must have seen?
Sure.
If you look at the special features, it's a fabulous thing. My friend told me about. I watch it sometimes to have a laugh. And Raymond Burr turns up to the premiere with a sailor. Check it out. With a sailor, sailor.
Premiere with a sailor boyfriend.
Oh.
He was dressed as a sailor. So
Right.
he said, this is my friend. And he brought him to think. So that was a bit kind of funny because we always associate with sailors with being,
Right.
like that, a bit gay and stuff. But it was very funny. And I never knew.
We knew about Raymond Burr years ago. He was out very early.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about, we know one thing. If you're a nice actor, you don't talk out of school.
Yeah,
because you don't want to hurt the career of another actor.
Absolutely,
so we know all the inside stuff.
Yeah.
Like I forgot what the word Betty Davis called gay men, but she had a word for them. It was like a code, and I forgot. It'll come to me. It takes a couple of minutes to talk. I'll think about it.
Actually, I'm going to ask a question because we have to go soon.
Yeah, sure.
You've done all kinds.
This is only part 1. So we have to do it again.
We'll do it again.
Oh,
for
yeah,
part
definitely.
2. So
you're a good guest. No, I love the visit.
Thank you.
But we will see you when we come to England.
First of all,
please do. Yeah, I love it. In fact, when I'm in Palm Springs eventually, which next few years, I must come and see you guys. You got
to look us up, but we won't be in Palm Springs because we're thinking of
moving.
Not yet. In about a year. Let me know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we need to live closer to Los Angeles because Hollywood because we're always there doing stuff.
Yeah. You guys,
and the 2-hour drive is murder.
You guys, you can follow Derek on Instagram. He's at Zen Lyons, ZenLyons. That's his Instagram handle. A question I like to ask actors, like a bucket list, male and female actor that you'd love to work with that you haven't had a chance to work with yet, and if you could have ever been in any movie ever made in history, what movie would you like to have been in? Oh, right. This is another one. So what actor, actress? Let me think. I work with most of the ones I like. I can go people. I'll get people who maybe are past. Yeah. They can. They can
anyone,
be dead.
Living or dead.
Let me think. Cary Grant. Obviously, I'm going to say Cary Grant.
Obviously, me too.
I could do a Carrie going, how are you? Yes, Judy, yes. Hello, yes. Where's Randy when you need him? Randy, stop that. No, don't do that to the dog. No.
That's good. Okay, give us a chick.
A film.
A woman. Don't say Meryl.
A chick. No.
Don't say Meryl, and don't say Meryl Streep. Everybody does.
I've actually met her. I worked on the film. Let me think. Think. Actress. I
met her also in an elevator in New York.
Do you? Let me think of an actress. I'm trying to think. In the past. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, I know which one.
It can be somebody current too. It doesn't have to be.
No. I prefer the old actors and actresses. I would like to work with Veronica Lake.
Oh, there we go.
I knew her. I mean, I
she's
don't. No, she wasn't. She was old and she had short curly hair. She was a barmaid at the Washington Hotel down in Manhattan. And a bunch of my gay friends said, did you know that Veronica Lake is working in a bar as a barmaid? I said, no, let's go see. And we went down to the Hotel Washington, and sure enough, this little teeny lady, old woman, she was old at the time, with very tight curly hair, not that long, beautiful hair.
Really?
And it was Veronica Lake. But I did tell my friends, please don't let her know that we know who she is.
Yeah, I understood.
And we did.
The other woman would be Louise Brooks.
I don't know who that is.
The name is familiar.
Louise Brooks, Lulu. Silent movie star.
Yes.
Louise Brooks, she was a big Hollywood star from the silent movies. Check her out. She's got that classic kind of black hair. She looks modern.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Louise Brooks. I love her. Yes, and now you're talking about a film, you mean now?
Yeah, any film that you could in
which film I could wish I wasn't in, because I'm actually the Z League of the film industry, apparently, in the Legend of My Own Lunchtime. So I'm trying to think what film. That's what I've been told. So let me think. What film? I know that sounds a bit cliche, but I love the movie It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.
And I like to be in that movie with James Stewart. I just like him. Or in Harvey, I could play the White Rabbit. Harvey, they should stop drinking there. Yeah, that's no good. Fucking stop doing that, Harvey. No, you can't play with yourself.
You are certainly an actor. You are certainly Hollywood for sure. Have you ever worked in Hollywood?
No, never. Most of the Hollywood films have been made here, as you know, like Indiana Jones, Star Wars.
But I mean, you've never worked in actual Hollywood.
No, the only place I was invited to once, a first assistant and the director of a French movie I worked on with Terence Stamp, because I know Terence Stamp very well.
Love Terence.
He was a friend of my father. My father spent time in India with him when they were in the Orange People, Bhagwan and Sri Rajneesh, and they got into sex and all that stuff. Anyway, bottom line is, they invite me to Paris to go. They could have set me up there in Paris because they really thought I was so professional. Because I've always been professional, as Terry Bamber, assistant director, said in this country. He said, Derek, you always did your lines, hit your marks on time, and totally professional. And I've always been that way. And something could happen. Who knows? Maybe someone in Hollywood is coming. Bring me to Hollywood. I'll be betting that bloody James Corden out there.
So here's what we're gonna do. We will bring you back, you guys. This is Derek Lyons. You can follow him on Instagram at Zen Lyons. He's Derek Lyons on Facebook. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Also, hang on, I have a website where you can buy medals and all that stuff. It's Derek Lyons' website. So you just type Derek Lyons website.com. Derek Lyons. I think Derek Lyons website.com. I think it is. Yeah.
What are you selling, your body or something?
Yeah. Well, I used to go down the Dilly, which is Piccadilly. That's where Elton John used to pick up his boys. You know that.
Piccadilly.
Down the Dilly.
You're a delightful friend and a delightful person. And yes, you're welcome back. And please stay healthy and stay wealthy and stay wise.
But blessing to you. But listen, when I see you, I'm going to give you both a kiss, but no tongue.
I'm going to no tongue. but maybe a finger here or there. But
hello, ding. A finger of fun, dear boy. Hello.
You gotta like.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye, Derek.
Bye,
Thank
Bye,
you.
peace and love. Love you, man. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, honey.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys, we're gonna take a 2-second Christmas break, music break. We're gonna play
Christmas break.
Young Zuck, Strike a Pose. When we come back, we'll have the fabulous Sherry Belafonte on the
Yay!
phone. All right, everybody, enjoy Young Zuck, Strike a Pose. Take it away, Juan.
For the ones who was down on me. Yeah, who was down on me. Yeah.
D-Mark got that heat.
This is a song for the ones who was doubting me. I'm the boss, CEO, now they envy me. Now they bumping on my music, I was proud to see. Take a pic, strike a pose, got me saying cheese. Got me riding through the city, and you know I'm with a bad bitch. Remember all the nights I was working, didn't have shit. Now I'm on top, and you know I'm living lavish. Told them fuck school, I was skipping on my classes. And go, and strike a pose. I was always moving fast and not slow. I'm on a money mission, what you wanna know? I told him nothing less than 50 for the show. Told him I'ma strike a pose. I'm on go. Catch me on a mission, right out with my bros. I was always moving fast and not slow. And when we pull up to the city, let them know. Tell them I'ma strike a pose. Tell me you don't hate, see it in your eyes. Thought you were an angel, just the devil in disguise. Had to give it all I had. Tell my mama that I tried. Caught up in the mix, I was reading all your lies. My dog told me drop that shit, get your ass to the stew. And writing another song if you down in the blues. I was down in my bag, got me popping all the blues. I'm running to the light like I'm breaking flights. Flashing at the scene, they on me. Man, I'm rolling off the molly with no sleep. I swear I've seen this up before in my dreams. Saying baby, strike a pose, I'm saying cheese, saying cheese. Got me riding through the city, and you know I'm with a bad bitch. Remember all the nights I was working, didn't have shit. Now I'm on top, and you know I'm living lavish. Told them fuck school, I was skipping on my classes. I'm on go, and strike a pose. I was always moving fast and not slow. I'm on a money mission, what you wanna know? I told them nothing less than 50 for the show. Told them I'ma strike a pose. I'm on go. Catch me on a mission, right out with my bros. I was always moving fast and not slow. And when we pull up to the city, let them know. Tell them I'ma strike a pose. Tell them I'ma strike a pose. Tell them I'ma strike a pose.
I love who? Young Doug.
I don't know what that was at the end of that video, but that was funny, you guys. All right, everybody. Now we're going to bring on our next guest, the fabulously, wonderfully talented Sherry Belafonte, and hopefully she's still there. Yay!
Hey, my darling.
Hey!
I'm here.
Yeah. Yes.
Good times and bum times, I've seen them all in my dear. I'm still here.
I'm still here.
Looking gorgeous as ever, my Sherry.
Hi, guys.
So you guys, we
Long
know Sherry.
time
So
no
we,
see. What,
yeah,
like,
we don't have to introduce her.
Like
3 days.
3 days ago, right? Gee, you haven't aged a bit. You look wonderful. You look the same.
So hold on,
Is that-
before we
you know,
start.
You have to meet Astro. Say hi to Astro.
Oh, hey, baby.
The
Oh,
7-pound
look at
baby
you.
I talk about. This is my
Yeah.
baby. He's
You
my
told me I had
son.
to ban mine. Mine are upstairs in Sam's office right now.
He's my
So
boy.
real quick, so since we know you, we're not introducing you because Ron will get all upset, but we have a chat room filled with people from like all different countries all over the place. So say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hello.
And
Hello, across the pond.
and then
Wherever, whichever pond you've crossed over to. Hi,
and
guys. Good to be
there's
here.
say hi to B Claudia in Germany. She's like writing all kinds of stuff about you because they love you in Germany. So say hi to B Claudia.
Hi, B. Claudia.
And
and,
Cindy
wait,
Lady
I
Lake
love
is writing,
Germany.
and
I
Cindy
love
Lady Lake
Germany.
is in Florida. So say hi to Cindy too.
Florida, how are you?
and you have to say hello to a good friend of mine who I was on the phone with yesterday, and she said to me, "Oh, please tell Sherry to go back on Sister." She said, "I loved her on
Sisters?
that."
Whoever
Yeah,
that
she
is,
said, "I love
stay
that." That's
Oh, stay tuned. She just
well, wait
said.
a
Yeah.
minute. So wait. So say hello
I'm
to
in
my
the new
friend.
season.
Wait, say hello to my friend Meg Rudick.
Oh yeah,
Meg.
Meg's awesome.
Rudick.
Meg
Hey, Meg.
Rudick.
How are you?
And she's your biggest fan. And she's
Oh
so
my
thrilled.
God.
She said, Ron, you're so lucky you know all the people I love. I said, yes, I am.
Tell her
Oh,
send
that's-
her my love for sure.
That's
Oh,
so
she's
funny.
a wonderful
I'm,
girl.
I'm on this season. I'm on 7 episodes this season of Sisters.
Good.
What happened was,
Yay!
during COVID, Tyler wasn't flying people in from California to perform, to do the show. He sequestered everybody on the lot. Everybody that worked on the seasons 2, 3, and 4 were all stuck right there on the lot. They couldn't even leave the lot in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia. And needless to say, I have a little bit of a life outside of Georgia. So usually I would fly in, do my episodes, and fly out, or fly in, do a couple of episodes, come back home, shoot the morning show, then go back to Atlanta and shoot a couple more episodes of Tyler's show, Sisters. But couldn't do it over COVID. Had to stay sequestered in our own little states.
Yes.
Now, what do you play? Who do you play on Sisters?
I play Ebony Obsidian's mother, who is a Marine with post-traumatic stress disorder, has dreadlocks, rides a motorcycle, smokes a lot of pot, sleeps around with young boys. And everybody said, with the exception of that sleeping around with young boys thing, it's pretty much pegged you, hasn't it?
No, I was going to say not at all. I still
I have my
remember you.
dreadlocks, but this season we cut them out.
No, I still remember you from the cover of Vogue and Glamour and all those magazines. I rember years ago
Playboy.
saying,
Weren't you on the cover of Playboy?
saying she is the most beautiful, beautiful woman in our world. Those
Oh my
pictures.
God.
No,
Thank you so
no,
much.
Sherry. I don't blow smoke up anybody's ass. I hate those phony shit people. But a credit has to be a credit. Of the covers, we should have gotten our engineer to put those covers up so we show our people.
It's okay, they can
You
Google
had
them.
to see Sherry Belafonte at maybe 21?
Oh, wait, here's a picture I'll show you. This will be funny.
What were you, 21 years old? Gorgeous.
and I did
Unbelievably.
magazine
Yeah.
No,
How
here's a
old-
picture. Check
how
this
old-
one out.
Oh, look at the hair.
Yeah, don't gloss it. It's glossy, so tilt it.
There you go. There you go.
Can
Oh
you
my
bring it
Look at those
closer?
abs.
Bring
Check
it
my
closer.
abs.
Yeah, you got great abs.
You look at. Oh, that's you and Sisters?
No,
Yeah, no, that's
Oh,
me.
no.
That's me 40 years ago
Oh.
when I was working out. Now I'm twice the woman I used to be.
No, but you look wonderful.
You look so fabulous. It's
Yeah.
not even funny.
Sherry was sitting next to me with a platter in a hand of food, plate of food, and she said, "Why do I eat this?" I said, "I don't know, because it's good, maybe."
Major. Yeah, I gave.
Anyway,
well, I
she's
did
a
shoot Playboy. I did shoot Playboy when I was 45 years old. So that was 24 years ago, 23 years ago, something like that.
so you
Yeah,
give
it was
away
the cover
your
of
age.
2000, year 2000. So it was 23 years ago. And from that moment on, because I had to work out like a fiend to get ready for that. And I did. And I was, I think, 17% body fat, and everything was looking pretty taut and fabulous. And from that moment on, I said, screw it. I'm not eating another, I'm not working out another day in my life. And I haven't. And so I thought it's never going to get any better than this at 45 with the incentive.
Yeah, but
getting paid
you
when I
know
was
what?
getting
You
paid.
know what?
And then from that moment on, I
you're sh-
walked. That's about it.
You're shapely. No, and that's important. Some people
Yeah,
put
this
on
is a
weight and they
shape.
no, get out of here.
No.
Some people gain weight and they look like a balloon. You don't. You look shapely. You look,
Oh,
it's
okay.
kind of like what was that one, that blonde that died? That big blonde who married the old man that
Oh yeah.
what was the hell was her name?
Anna Nicole Smith.
Anna Nicole Smith.
Anna Nicole.
You got that kind of body, curvature. Sophia Loren
Oh.
was no skinny bitch, I made a movie
Yeah,
with her.
yes,
And-
fabulous. Oh,
And I was amazed at how
Okay.
overweight she was when we filmed. They strapped her middle in like crazy, but she
Wow.
had a little waist, these huge hips, a big ass, big thighs, a big woman. She's not little. And now I
no,
understand
she's
she's
Italian.
yeah, but now which brings me to food, which brings me to you. Sue Wong has not stopped carrying on over your guacamole dip. And she said to me, the
No,
bitch,
she's been texting me about the coconuts, the pina colada sorbet she's been scarfing down.
Yeah.
yeah, she's carrying
I like
on.
the sorbet.
Right.
I had the berry
But
sorbet.
she said to me, that evil woman, she said, well, now you've met your match as far as cooking. So I said to Sue, when we move to Santa Clarita, we'll be closer to Sherry. She's going to come over to our house and we're going to have a cook-off.
Okay. I'm
And
down
we're
with
going to
that.
see who could do the best meals.
All right, so we have to talk about something because the chat room, and I guess I know you've done a whole bunch of really cool things, but I guess for some reason, Hotel is it's like one of your staples because like everybody in the chat room was talking about, oh my God, Hotel was like my favorite show, and James Brolin was so hot. So tell us a little bit about like how did you book Hotel? Was that a difficult thing to do for you,
Oh God,
or did you
that's-
just walk
that's
in and get
funny.
it?
Well, what happened was I was on Calvin Klein commercials at that time, and in typical fashion, because the one thing, growing up in the industry, the one thing that I've always stayed, my rule is from Friday at 5 p.m. till Monday morning. Can I say the F word? Don't fucking call
Yes,
me.
yes.
of
Don't
course.
fucking call you. Yes.
Yeah, don't fucking call me. That's family time. That's, like chill time. And what happened
Same
was
with us. Same with us. Same with us.
back in those days, before we had cell phones and before, we had answering machines. And I had come home and it was about 5 o'clock in the evening and I checked my machine and Nina Blanchard was my agent at the time. And Nina called me up and she said, go over to Warner Brothers right away. They want to see you for this part in this show. It's an Aaron Spelling show. And I went, no. And they went, well, wait a second. No, you have to go. And I went, no, really, I don't. It's 5 o'clock. And they said, Sherry, don't be ridiculous. Go. At the time, I was wearing a long jean skirt. I had, if you can remember what leg warmers were.
Yes.
Leg warmers, clogs. I had leg warmers, clogs, an oversized shirt, no makeup. My hair was still this short, but and I went in with a serious attitude. Like, really? What is this? And as I was right before I left, I said, well, what's it for? They said it was for 2 lines. On the pilot episode. I was not supposed to be on the show. It was just going to be the pilot. And I went, no, really, no. And they went, no, go. So I went, attitude. The director and the casting director were there and they're being very nice and very chummy. And we saw you in Calvin Klein commercials. I'm like, yeah. And they said, we really think you'd be an asset to this pilot. And I went, great. And they said, would you like to, they handed me the sides, the sheet that has like the scene on it.
Yes.
And handed me the sides right then. And they said, would you like to go outside and work on these? And I looked at it and I went, what the fuck for? It's 1 line. I said, good morning, Mr. Smith. How can I help you? And I just did it like that. And, and they went, oh, okay. And, they chatted me up for a little bit and I kind of chilled afterwards. And then I left and got home. And by the time I got home, the agent had called and said, you're booked. You have to get on a flight tomorrow at 6 a.m. to go up to San Francisco to shoot. Because we shot the pilot at the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco, which is what, our St. Gregory Hotel, which was the one that Aaron built at Warner Brothers, was an 85% exact replica of the lobby of the Fairmont Hotel. And sure enough, we were shooting from midnight until 7 a.m. because that was when the hotel was the least busy. Obviously, everybody was asleep or out of the hotel. But I'll never forget because Heidi Bohe and I were sitting next to each other in the little concierge space, and this guy came down and threw his keys at us and said, "Can you send somebody up to get our bags? Get my bags?" Heidi and I,
You?
Okay, dude.
Now, were you married to Sam at the time?
No, I was married to Bob Harper, my first husband at that time.
Oh, I didn't know you had a first husband.
Yeah. Bob and I were college sweethearts. We got married 4 days after we graduated. We stayed married 11 and a half years. And then the day my divorce came through, it was on a fax machine. There was a limo parked in our driveway waiting to fly us to Barbados because Sam and I were getting married 3 days later.
Yay!
We like Sam. I'm glad.
I love Sam. Sam's fabulous.
Sam, and you know what? Sam is still handsome.
Yeah, he's hot.
And Sam and I've been married at 33 years. I've never not been married. So
Yeah, neither have I. But I would like to see Sam without the beard.
Oh, I like the beard.
No, I would like to see his face.
Sam just grew the beard back because I love. Oh, honey, go ahead. And actually, there's a part that he was reading for that called for it. So I said, go ahead, grow it back.
But do you like him with or without?
I prefer with, first of all, he's great either way, but
right.
I
Yeah,
like
Sam,
the beard.
Sam is handsome. Jimmy
sexy.
wears a beard, because I like Jimmy better with a beard. He's better looking with the beard. But Sam is good looking.
Sam's gorgeous either way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
of
With or
course.
without. That's
So
what
you
I'm
guys,
saying.
just so we know who you're talking about, how do you pronounce his last name? Behrens? Your last name,
Barons.
Barron? Behrens. So
Barons.
Sam Behrens, you guys,
BEHRDNS.
he was Jake, you guys. When I was in college, he was Jake on General Hospital
General
for many
Hospital.
years. Wasn't he also
He
on
was
like
on
Knots
Knots
Landing?
Landing also. He played Danny Waleski on Knots Landing. Hold on, my nose
And he
is
also,
running.
and also, you guys, like if you remember, then I think it was in the '90s. There was a movie called Alive where the plane crashes in the mountains, and then they have to decide to eat somebody, and he's in that
Right.
movie.
And he lived.
Yes.
Now,
He's
for,
one of the
for all
characters.
for all our very nosy viewers, how'd you meet Sam?
We met on a movie set actually together. It was a movie that this woman had told the director. His name was Paul Leader, and Mimi Leader is his daughter, and Geraldine Leader is his daughter. Mimi is a great director and executive producer. Actually, she's my boss on the morning show right now. But Paul was doing a movie, and it was back in '87 during the writer's strike, and the script was just, it was not great, needless to say, and it needed major rewrites. And I read this script and I went, no, I've always been an attitude. It's like, no, I'm not doing it. Every time I go, no, I'm not doing it, I end up doing it, and I end up getting great benefits from doing it. But and it was, like I said, it was not a great script, and everybody was walking in. They were doing a read through at Paul's house, and my agent at the time, now I was with William Morris. William Morris said, you have to go meet the director and tell him you're not doing it. I said, why did you guys tell them I was going to do this? This is crazy. So I went to Paul's house, and as I was sitting there, all these people that I knew came in, was doing this movie. Cleavon Little, who was a family friend,
Right.
sort of came up, and he was doing the movie, and Audrey Meadows was doing the movie, and there was like I said, a slew of people just kept walking in. And I went, you guys are all doing this really mediocre script. And Paul said to me, you can rewrite however you want to rewrite it. It'll be, and you'll be you'll be out in 3 weeks. It was 2.5 weeks. And I had already planned I was going to New York 3 weeks later. And had already said to Bob at the time, my husband, I said, when I go to New York, I think I'm going to stay back in New York for a couple of months, because I was just, it was like time. And Bob was always a nice guy. It wasn't Bob. It was me that made that move, that exodus. But and Sam and I hit it off on the movie, literally. And then he ended up going to New York at the same time. We had a 4-day affair, and I came back right away to LA and to tell Bob that I'd done the evil deed, and was
Right.
I said, look, I don't know what's going to happen between the two of us, but I know that Sam has to be in my life for the rest of my life. Needless to say, Bob wasn't thrilled with that. So it's like, wow,
That's what Jimmy said about me. Jimmy was with somebody 28 years, 25 years, and then he met me, and he dumped that guy for me, and I felt like a home wrecker. But I loved it.
Yeah, I think. But the heart knows it knows. Sam and I have been together 35 years. We'll be married 33 in December.
Good.
Sam's great.
I want to say something that I said to you at the luncheon at Sue's house, because it's important for my viewers. Sherry Belafonte is beyond Harry Belafonte. Most people think of her as Harry's daughter. I don't. I see Sherry Belafonte as Sherry, a funny lady, a bright lady, a beautiful lady, and a fine actress. How do you handle that? Oh, you're Harry's daughter? How do you handle it?
Well, I've always been Harry's daughter.
No, I know that. I know that. But
it's not like I have a choice, really. But no, well, what's interesting, though, is that my parents actually separated when my mom was pregnant with me. So I didn't really grow up with Harry. I grew up in a household with my mom, and my grandmother, my mother's mother, came to live with us, so that when my mom was out in the workforce, basically Nana became like the mom figure, and Mom was more like the daddy figure. And I would always hear them talk about Harry. They say, well, Harry's doing this, or Harry's picking up the kids, or Harry. So I literally grew up, and you've heard me when I talk about Harry, I talk about Harry. I don't say dad very often.
You say you do refer to him as Harry.
And Harry even confronted me at one point and said, why do you do that? I said, well, that's how I kind of grew up hearing about you.
Right.
But, and when people saw my mom they with me, people would always go, "Oh my God, you look exactly like your mother. I always thought you looked exactly like your father."
She's beautiful.
But my mother and father looked like sister
Oh.
and brother. So I wish I had a picture of them right now. If you,
Yeah,
if
but I
anybody
saw a
Googles pictures of Harry Belafonte with Marguerite Belafonte, you'll see
No,
they
I
look
s-
like they could have been siblings. So
I saw a picture of your mother. She was beautiful.
gorgeous. She was a
Yeah,
model. She was a
Yeah,
model in the
yeah.
family. And then she was a child
You got
psychologist.
handsome parents. That's why you're so beautiful, because you
I
got
got
their
a good
features.
gene. I got
You
good
got good
genes.
features. Got a good
So
nose
do you
too.
sing? Do you sing?
The
'Cause
best
she's got-
nose.
The best noses are so
Best
important.
nose, and
If
it's my nose. Nothing.
I
And
know it's a beautiful nose.
I've had plastic surgeons come up to me and go, you
Who
know,
did
I
your
can't tell you
nose?
how many people have asked for your nose.
No,
He
it
says,
is
I
a
always tell them,
perfect
sorry,
nose.
that's a God-given thing. Nobody can make that nose happen. But
So do you sing? Because when he was singing at the beginning and you started to sing, you actually sound like you could sing, and your father sings. Like, have you
I
ever?
had 2 albums in Germany. That's why
Did-
people know me in
oh!
Germany.
Oh, B. Claudia, did you hear that? She has 2 albums in Germany. She's just
Well,
writing
they
in there
were
how fabulous
30
you are.
years ago, because
That's
you know,
okay. B's
what's
like my
funny-
age. B's like our
Yeah,
Did
age.
you
don't
sing?
know.
So.
Did you sing in German or English?
No, in English.
Were
But
they like pop or rock or dance or what were they?
They were odd pop schlager kind of music. It was the music I wanted to do. As a matter of fact, here's a story for you.
Sure.
There were songs that were, you know, back in those days, again, people would submit cassettes or songs to you, and the artist would pick them and record them, or you know,
Right.
somebody would sing them or record them for them. And there was a song that came to me, and I went, "Oh my God, this is a hit! You got to let me do this song." I was on Metronome, was the label that I was on at the time, and they went, "No, this is not a hit song. This is not a good song. We can't let you sing this song." I said, "Please let me sing this song." It was like, "No, no, 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 no." That first song was "We Built This City on Rock and Roll." So the next song that I went ape shit for, and it was John Lind had written the song. John Lind was going to produce part of the second album, and he handed me the cassette. The girl had just done the lead tracks on it, handed the cassette to me. I went, "Oh my God, this is like the biggest hit ever. Got to do it, got to do it, got to do it." Again, the label said, "No, this won't work in Europe." I went, "This song will work anywhere." I argued with them, but I was a novice. I couldn't argue the point. And it was "Save the Best for Last," which is
Oh my
Vanessa
God,
Williams.
Vanessa Williams.
And from that moment on, I said, "You know what? Fuck it. You know, I'm done with you guys." And they kept picking
two huge hits too.
songs like they kept picking Caribbean songs. They, you know,
Oh, they
Red,
wanted
Red,
Harry
Red,
back.
Give a Little
Right.
Love, because they wanted to play off of this Caribbean thing.
Right.
And I went, "But I'm not that person." So
Eyes of Night. They're writing in the chat room. Your album was called Eyes of
Eyes
Night.
of Night. Yeah, and what's interesting is that I did have a duet with oh God, what was his name? He was a really sweet guy from England, as a matter of fact. And that was a song that a friend of mine wrote, and they did acquiesce because it ended up that this British artist also liked the song. And that song actually did marginally well, but the 2 singles that they had that they released off the songs, they came in because, you know, in Europe they have its top 50. We have the top 40 here,
Yes,
or top
right.
20, but in Germany they have the top 50. I had both of my songs came on at number 49, and they stayed at number 49 or 48 for like 50 weeks, for like a year. Never budged, never went below, never went off the charts. It's just stayed at 58.
Hey, at least it
So-
made the charts. That's awesome.
Hey, 49 is better than 3.
Yeah, but no, 3 is
No, three would be
baby.
better.
3 is what you want. It's like
Why?
it's sort
Oh,
of
the
like
lower the number, the better?
Yeah, it should be
Yeah,
number
the lower the
49. You
number,
wanna
the
be
better.
number
How-
one.
how
Like
did they
number
get-
one.
You want to be number
You're
one.
number one on the hit parade.
Oh,
That's what
right,
you
right,
want.
right. I got
Did
it.
you ever play like Top of the Pops or anything?
I did all those those shows. I went to Germany, and we did all of those, but you always lip sync. You know, it was like
Yeah.
the one that Dick Clark used to do. You just
Yeah.
came in and lip synced the
Right.
song, and they'd have some crazy set that was set up, and but I Want to Be Needed was the song that I did
Right.
with the English artist, and it was fun. And that doesn't matter. You can Google that video still. I have this tiny little waist. I had this body. This is the body I had, that body, and then big black hair. And I'm wearing this neoprene tight, shark rubber suit. It was like a bodice and a little tiny flared skirt, boots. That it was very hip hop at the time. It was 80s.
Sherry
so it was-
Belafonte and Chris Norton. Chris
Chris
Norman.
Chris Norman.
Do you
Yeah.
miss the old days? Do you miss being young and the wild times that we had back then?
I don't miss anything except you know,
That body.
but I have that body. I just have it really neatly padded.
Just
for-
shapely.
for the next
I
time
I miss my old face. I wish I had
Well,
my
I,
face.
yeah, I don't miss that.
No, I mean I don't look like I
I
don't
don't
even
miss-
look like me.
I don't miss getting old. I don't the hurt part, you know, where your knees aren't working quite as well as they used to. Your ankles.
I got that.
That's
Tell
the
me
part
about it.
that bothers me. But you know, but no, I don't miss. There's a lot of stuff that I did that I still do. You know, I don't have kids, so it's easy for us to kind of still to do things that probably you
Sure.
wouldn't do if you had 18-year-olds or
No,
14-year-olds.
but do you miss the fashion of 70s and the 80s, the way we dressed? I loved it.
No, those shoulder pads out to
Oh,
here.
they were wonderful. No, we really look good. Guys, we really dressed up with scarves and jackets and parachute pants and jazz shoes and it was
Wong
wonderful.
outfits.
Yeah, Stu Wong outfits, right?
Sue Wong outfits. Yeah, it's funny because Issei Miyake, you know, just passed away, and I did
Right.
some modeling for him. You know, again back in the '80s, and there are those moments where you miss that moment that felt special because you were the one that was walking down the runway or walking in front of the paparazzi wearing some
Sure.
fabulous thing, and they were saying, "What are you wearing?" You know, now I'm wearing Hanes.
Jockey shorts.
So one thing that I didn't know that you do, because I went down your IMDb. I went down your IMDb today just to see some other things. But besides being an actress in a lot of things, you've done a lot of voiceover work in like cartoon type animate. I guess what do you call animated television shows and movies and stuff. Like, have you always done that? Like, 'cause you've done a lot. I wrote it down. Jen Locke, Sophia the First, Sonic the Hedgehog. That's big. Hey Arnold, Johnny Quest, Gravedale High. Like, you have a whole bunch of them.
Gravedale High was funny because that was a series that Hanna-Barbera was. First of all, my very first job in LA, I worked for a temporary group, you know, like a secretary, and I was hired to work one day at Hanna-Barbera to type some scripts for the cartoon characters. And they asked if I could stay. It was on a Wednesday. They said, "Could you stay through till Friday?" And I said, "Yeah." And then on Friday they said, "Can you stay?" And I went, "Yeah, sure, except if I get auditions and stuff." They said, no, your hours will be flexible, whatever. You know, you just need to let us know. But I was Fred Flintstone's private secretary for the first part of my life here in California. And ultimately, it was a few years later that they brought me back to, you know, now I was a celebrity and now I was a star, a little starlet. I was on Hotel. And I was doing a show called Gravedale High. It was Rick Moranis and Gravedale High. And Rick Moranis played the only human teacher in this group of we were all ghouls. I was Blanche. And then, but we had, I'm trying to think, it was an all-star cast. It was just phenomenal to walk into this room. Jonathan Winters was there, and Jonathan Winters was playing Coach Cadaver, and he was talking like this. And he
was crazy, you know. He was crazy.
He would go off book.
I loved him.
And start this routine, and we would all be sitting there weeping. It was Tim Curry and Eileen Brennan, Moses Gunn, and Rick Moranis was there. I mean, we were all in this room, and we would be weeping, just like Peter Hunt. I'm sorry, it was Hunt. It was Helen Hunt's father was the director, who was wonderful and did a lot of cartoons, and Gordon Hunt was directing, and we were all laughing so hard we couldn't get through the scripts usually. And we did 22 episodes of those, but the show didn't get picked up. And I later, just recently, found out, somebody said it was because Rick's wife had gotten very ill and he walked away from the show. But you know, Ricky Lake was on that, and I'm thinking everybody.
Ricky Lake. Oh my! These are all people I've met through the years.
In this room, doing all these voices. So that was my early cartoon stuff. But
that's
then
fun.
I've done voiceovers for commercials and I was the voice of Boeing for a while, you know.
The airline?
Yeah, well, their company.
Oh, okay.
Right. Paul Lind had a party, and I was at that party, and Jonathan Winters was there. It should have been on film.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
those two together were totally demented. I mean, first Paul was loaded out of
And
his mind.
you couldn't stop laughing. It
Well,
was
when Paul drank, Paul became vicious, but funny vicious. An
Jonathan would get a
evil
little dark too. That was odd. because
Jonathan used to just get like crazy. They were. It was. I'm telling you, if we filmed it, we would have had a hit show. Two funny guys that are gone. I'm so sorry. We've lost so many wonderful people.
it's true.
But anyway, we have you.
I'm
So
not dead
now
yet.
let's
No, God forbid, God forbid.
No,
You're gonna be
no.
around a long time. We have to. I'm gonna make for you an eggplant tower. You like eggplant?
Okay.
Do you
it's
like
really
egg-
good. If you
do,
like
do you
eggplant,
like
it's really good. I
eggplant?
didn't used to like
I'm
eggplant, but I
partial
like
to
that.
eggplant parmesan. Sam hates eggplant, so
Oh, then I
whenever
won't make it. I won't make an eggplant tower.
don't make it for Sam. No, you make it for me.
There you go.
Okay.
Let's brag a little bit for right now.
Yes.
So right now you're on. So it's an Apple
But
TV,
wait a minute.
right?
I want before you do that because we're going to go off soon.
No,
I want everybody to know when I said to Sherry, "I love you," and she said to me, "Why?" Everyone out there, now you know why. This is Sherry. Now you know why I
Super
love her
fun.
because you all love her too. She's a sweetie
I
pie.
love you guys.
No, you're a sweetie pie. No Hollywood bullshit, Sherry. I don't say that to everybody. You know, most people I don't give a fuck about. But you're just a sweetie.
And Sherry has the coolest dogs.
and I do look forward to seeing you. I
You
really
will.
do look. I
It's
do
just
look.
on bombs. Boy, first of all, it's 100 and something degrees here today, so I can only imagine what it is.
115 here. It's terrible.
116 going to 120. Going
Yeah, I
up
think it's
to
like
120.
103 here. So
Yeah,
wait,
no,
wait.
120 is a joke.
So you're on a new show right now. It's on
Yes.
Apple TV, the morning show with and I just wrote down all the people. A lot of them have been on it because you've been on a lot of episodes. Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Billy Crudup, Mark Duplass, Nestor Carbonell, Steve Carell, Marcia Gay Harden, Juliana Margulies, Holland Taylor, I love her, Mindy Kaling, Will Arnett, Martin Short. I know there's a million other people, but tell us a little bit about that one then. So I haven't watched that. I'm going to watch that now that I know more about
It's
it.
funny because everybody who watches it binge watches it.
Yes.
We
They go,
binge. We binge.
Yeah, I want to see the next episode, and then finally, after about 2 days, people go, "I saw every episode. Oh my god, when are you coming back?" We just started back. We just started shooting the 3rd season, and this year we have a new guest, John Hamm.
Oh yeah,
I know.
That's because you told us that the other day. I was like, I heard that.
Yes.
Already. I was just trying to figure out where I heard that. Okay.
And if you don't and if you don't check out his crotch, you're crazy
Jesus.
because everybody. No, he's got the biggest wang in Hollywood. It's supposed to be
Oh my
enormous.
God.
No, and
I-
he has a difficult
I hate
time
to say I haven't
hiding it.
noticed, but now I'll be sure to tune in.
Yeah, you'll have to tune in for sure now because like every time his Geico commercial comes on, Ron's just like, look at that.
No, he has difficulty.
Pausing, hitting the pause button.
He has difficulty hiding it.
Him and
because
Chris Pine are supposed to have the two biggest
It's
penises
like-
in Hollywood.
it's like inhuman. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
he
man.
has
Like a
difficult-
hammer.
He has a
He's
difficult
very
time.
sweet. He's very funny. Everybody. Yeah, it basically
Very
is
handsome. He's very
roughly
handsome.
based on what happens in a morning show. And in the first season, people will watch. Steve Carell was roughly Matt Lauer, and Jennifer Aniston was roughly Katie Couric, and Reese Witherspoon is roughly Anne. What was Anne last? The third one, Anne, whatever her name was.
Whatever. Mhm.
Was the third reporter on the morning on Today's Show.
Right.
So it roughly follows that kind of story point, but it's different. It's more than that. And everybody, excuse me, everybody that was working on the show behind the scenes was involved with daytime talk shows. So, and I played the stage manager.
Right.
Somebody said to me, "So, you're a star on the show." I went, No, I'm number 31 on the call sheet. I'm not the star. And I said, "Well, what do you do on the show?" I went, "I run it."
You wrote it?
No, she runs.
Run
Oh,
it.
you-
You know,
oh,
I'm
she
basically
runs
the
that.
person that
Runs
says,
character.
my big lines are, "All right, people, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes, people. Back in 2 minutes." And then, when we're about to go, I go, "Okay, and in 5, 4."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how would you
That's
like
okay.
how would you like my job? All I ever say is, "It ain't no monster. Oh my God, it's gonna kill us." Ah!
Oh yes.
It's a good show. First of all, everybody is really, I know it sounds so cliche to say, okay, everybody's so sweet, but everybody really is. Jennifer Aniston's probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in this business. And she's just a doll. And Reese is a doll, everybody. Billy Crudup is hysterical. He's just as
I love
funny
Billy
on
Crudup.
camera as he is off camera as he is on camera. Mark Duplass, very talented. Everybody, Nestor Carbonell, everyone is just, Deshaun and Janina, Karen Pittman, fabulous actress, black actress, Karen Pittman. She was actually on a couple of episodes of Yellowstone. If you ever watched Yellowstone,
I got Yellowstone for Christmas, but I haven't watched it yet. I got.
Oh my God, a great show! It's basically Yellowstone is The Godfather.
Oh,
it's the Godfather, of a Western,
Yeah, it's a Western version of The Godfather.
Stars Kevin Costner is the star of it.
Oh, we like Kevin Costner.
I love Kevin
is
Costner.
basically Don Corleone, and his oldest daughter is basically Jimmy Cahn's character. He's got 3 kids, and he's got the son that's kind of the ne'er-do-well. That's sort of the ne'er-do-well.
Was it deliberately done that way, or
I have no idea, but it certainly seems to follow a guideline like that. Taylor Sheridan is the guy who created and writes it.
Are you in that at all? Have you been in any
episodes?
No.
I wish I was in it. I ride. I was like, sign me up. Can't I be like the cook?
No,
like the hot saying of Yellowstone.
So here's my question that I like to ask all the actors and actresses. So, and you've worked with a ton of people, like so many people.
When I was on Hotel, I worked with
everybody.
Rock Hudson.
I was eavesdropping on your last guest, and and I know you're going to ask, it's like, who would you want to work with?
Yes.
Yeah,
Rock
because
Hudson.
I started thinking all the people that I worked with, because I did Hotel, and Aaron was nonplussed when it came to getting stars in. We had Elizabeth Taylor and Rock Hudson and Ginger Rogers and Hermione Gingold. I mean, we had everybody you can think of that was a star at the time came in and did our show. So, but
it's funny because we actually saw, because during I don't know, it was probably about 6 months ago. Somehow they played an episode of Hotel that we saw, and it was the Morgan Fairchild episode, and we had just had her on our show.
Okay.
And then we watched the Morgan Fairchild. I mean, it was such a great. It really was like a great show.
And she looks gorgeous
she looks today. Now,
I did a medical show with her a couple of years ago. She looked amazing.
Yeah, she looks
amazing now. Huh?
Yeah.
Donna was on our show a couple of weeks ago.
We had her on a couple weeks
She's
ago.
my age. She's 82 years old. She's my age
28,
exactly.
just like you.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but she looks gorgeous.
She actually told us though her age. No, I think she's 81. Then I think
she turned 82. I was a couple of weeks older than her. We talked about it.
Yeah. So anyway, she looks.
Donna
fabulous.
told me she turned 82.
She's in Nope, but I haven't seen it yet.
I'll
Okay,
be
so
69 in September.
Yeah,
but
I would never
wait a
guess
minute.
that.
Wait. You really will?
Yeah.
I would have never
You're
guessed.
gonna almost be
54.
7. You're almost gonna be
September
70.
1954.
I thought you were like 30 years younger than I am. 25 years at least.
Parts of me are
13, 16, 17, 12.
You're going to be
She's only 13
70.
years.
Wow.
You look fabulous.
You also look good for your age.
Well, the star that I would want to work with is Alec Guinness.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Like,
because everybody first of all, Audrey Hepburn was a family friend, so I never worked with her, but oh my God, heartbeat would I have done something with any Hepburn.
I love Audrey Hepburn.
I flew on a private plane with Cary Grant and Lucille Ball and Richard Dreyfuss. Again, there's so many wonderful actors that I would love to have worked with or be in the presence of on camera. But it was a lot of people that I was, like I said, I'd sit next to on a plane, or I went from here to Japan with Jacqueline Bisset, who was
beautiful.
It was her first trip going to Japan, and she was like a little nervous. And I went, "No, it's great. You're gonna love it." So we became buddies for about a month, after that.
She's Angelina Jolie's godmother.
Alec Guinness would be hands down to me the most, and John Hurt.
Oh, John Hurt, great.
Good actors.
Fabulous.
Both of them wonderful actors.
But both of them are gone, so much for that. But in any Stanley Donen movie, I would have done a Stanley Donen movie in a heartbeat. But again,
I would have liked to have been
in a Blake Edwards movie, but I got cut out.
I would have liked to have been in a Hitchcock. How about you?
I'm not. It's funny because I love Hitchcock movies, and I'm not big on kind of horror movies. but I heard he was such a nightmare that I don't think I would particularly
Well,
care.
Tippy
seeing him.
Hedren and I are friends, for
Right.
a long time. And Tippy and I talked off camera, which I will never repeat. But Tippy told me, I'll tell you in private when I see you. Tippy
You
said to
told
me,
me.
"Oh, I did tell you. I mean, you could
Yeah.
drop dead from that weirdo. He was a very
Dropped dead from that weirdo.
no. He was like a sex maniac with these beautiful women, these blondes. He
Yeah,
was a,
that's.
but
I've
you know
heard
the
that.
funny part is, I asked Tippy, why didn't he do Janet Leigh? He never came on to Janet Leigh. She said because she was Jewish. Isn't that
Oh,
interesting?
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Isn't that
So I
very
have to be
interesting?
my high, huh? If you
Yeah.
And you'd be safe. You'd be safe as anything.
Yeah, you'd have been safe.
Sure. But I thought that
No,
was
I'm not
very
Jewish, but
interesting.
I'm Jewish adjacent. I tell people.
Yeah,
Sam's Jewish.
by injection, as they say.
Right. Jewish by injection.
Which is funny as hell.
But
So how
yeah,
was
Alec
Cary Grant?
Guinness, Cary
What
Grant.
movie? What movie do you want to be in?
I said any Stanley Donen directed.
Oh, right.
Charade.
But give us
How
a
about
title.
Charade?
Give us a
Charade
title.
was a good one. Charade was a
Charade.
good
Oh,
one.
Charade is a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
I
Any
would
of
have loved
those
to met
kind of
Cary
intrigue.
Grant.
Any Pink Panther movie.
Oh, Peter.
Oh, I
Sellers,
love
That would be
Peter
Blake
Sellers.
Edwards, but Peter Sellers again, genius, fucking genius. So there would be, the problem is when you start to work with these people, if they're doing their comedy stuff, I'd start laughing. I couldn't stop laughing.
Right,
That would be my
right.
my downfall on that.
Right.
Or any Fred and Ginger movie. If I could dance like Fred or Ginger and be a threesome with Fred and Ginger, that would have been. To this day, I watch. I have. First of all, I think Turner Classic Movies pretty much stays on in my office.
I love it.
Same
I met Bob years ago when it was first starting. And I said to him, do you think it's going to fly, Bob? People really give a shit about those old movies? He said, well, I sure hope so. He was probably one of the handsomest men you ever wanted to see when he was young. Oh,
Yeah.
gorgeous, beyond beautiful, magnificent in person. I mean, he
Yeah.
could, beautiful eyes and
Very
face,
sweet,
nose.
too.
Beautiful guy, beautiful
Yeah.
guy.
We watched Turner Classic Movies.
I ran into him. I
I
ran into him on 57th Street one time coming out of a restaurant, and he
Right.
stopped, and it was freezing cold, and he stayed and talked to me, which I thought was very sweet because we were both freezing. And no, it was really when the winds blew up from the Hudson on 57th
Yeah, and you
Street.
didn't think maybe we should just step inside at the bar and have this
No.
conversation?
We were both leaving. Our cars were coming around, so
Oh.
he was very sweet.
So you guys too,
Nice.
you can follow Sherry on Instagram. Her Instagram is Sherry Belafonte, so that's really easy to find. And what do you got coming up next that everybody needs to watch?
Yeah.
I guess they need to see
Well,
what they need to watch.
New
Well,
episodes of
Sisters.
is coming on. I think they start in October. I could be
Right.
wrong, but people who follow Sisters knows when it's going to come on. And I'm in the new episodes. I'm in 7 new episodes of this new season coming up. The morning show,
Yay.
like I said, we just started back on the morning show. So I don't know. I think that season will probably.
Oh, wait.
drop.
Before we go off, I want people to know this. Tell me, I almost dropped dead when she told me this. Tell me all the organizations that you are in. Give us it quickly. Go fast.
Well, I'm on the national board and local board of the Screen Actors Guild AFTRA. I'm the head of the Women's Committee, co-chairperson of the Women's Committee National. I'm on the Native American Committee National, the Native American Committee, because my mom was Haudenosaunee. A lot of people think my mom was, Harry's sister. No, they think that everybody is black in my family, but I did my ancestry. I'm 50.1% Irish, Scottish, English. And I said, well, wait a second. Somebody's got to explain that to me because we know Harry's not all white.
Right.
But my mom was
women in film. How about women in film?
Palm Springs Women in Film. I'm on their advisory board. I'm on the foundation for the Lily Claire Foundation, which is for children with neurogenetic conditions like autism, Down syndrome, Williams syndrome. What else? Like a plethora of SAG-AFTRA things because it's my union, and right now we're in we're having the conversation of what we do and how we support our women because of the Roe versus Wade thing. Right. And it's how we work in those states that disallow women to take care of themselves. Right. So that's a big on my plate. That's why one of the reasons why I said, catch me if we can, because I get board meetings. I got texted today saying there's another one tomorrow, going, oh okay. So, and any second, and also because of the COVID, I'm on call anytime to go in to shoot the morning show, because we shoot around everybody else's schedule, especially those big stars. So when Reese works, I don't think Reese is never not working. She's got 2 or 3 television shows. She's got a couple of movies that are running. She's producing a lot of stuff. Same with Jennifer. Jennifer's schedule is about maybe half as busy as Reese's, but still 5 times as busy as mine. And John Hamm, it's like all these celebrities that are coming in and go, really? You guys, thank God you're doing TV, but really? Where do you have the time to do this? But
it pays,
right,
it pays the rent. Now, everybody,
Yes,
not only is Sherry beautiful, talented, but she's got a good heart.
Absolutely.
You can tell by all the people she's
And
helping
you guys
in all
go
her
see all the things that
organizations.
she's been in, and make sure you check out the morning show, the seasons that are out. It's on Apple TV. We want to thank you for coming on. You're fantastic. We got to go, but we love you. And say
I
hello
love
to
you.
Sam and the dogs.
I hope
Bye,
to see you very, very soon, my angel.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye, honey.
Hey, everybody.
Bye,
Thanks so
sweetheart.
much for
Bye.
tuning into the show. We had a great time. Hope you enjoyed our guests. We know we did. Chat room, thank you so much. Juan, thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Woo!
Can turn out to be so wrong.
Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.